purposes.
Yes.
So I think Aisha is a perfect example of what we're seeing in a lot of countries, young entrepreneurs coming up with leapfrog technologies. In the same way that in large portions of Asia and Africa, the old landline phones never got set up. People just went straight to mobile, and obviously they're buying stuff through Alibaba on there all the time. But the point is that they did not have to make some of the massive infrastructure investments. This is part of the reason why the old idea of development and environmental sustainability, I think, is outdated. It does raise the issue, though, of how we can do more to support young entrepreneurs like Aisha. And Jack, you have the benefit of having been on both sides of the equation. Early entrepreneur, scratching and clawing to get things done, and then now obviously a very successful businessman. How can both government and larger companies be assisting in creating the kind of climate for innovation that encourages young entrepreneurs like Aisha?
Yeah, government is simple, just reduce the tax or no tax for these guys.
There you go.
Well,
you got a lot of cheers from your fellow CEOs.
Yeah, but I think I feel so excited by hearing the story. Startup for entrepreneurs like a baby. And I have 5 babies so far, experienced a father.
Do you love them all equally, or is there?
Yeah.
Do you have some favorites? You shouldn't say that.
I do. Alibaba, Alipay, Taobao. These are the kids that I have. But one thing, my advice, we just had a discussion at the back office that nobody can help you. We can only help ourselves. Investors, government, and partners, they are uncles and aunties. You are the father, you are the mother of the kid. Don't give up the kid. Because when we start up talking about our kid, our passion, it all sounds crazy. But you are the guy, take care of the kids. But what we do is that we are platform. Our job is to enable. On the 11/11 day, we sold $14.5 billion, and this year we got like $500 billion sales totally on our platform. We do not sell anything. We empower others people to sell. So our platform is to empower the small business to realize their dreams. Company like that, we have a company that is, they have an APP helping trucks, because the truck logistic, they normally deliver things from this city to that city full of packs. When we come back, all empty. So the applications try to making sure all the truck drivers can find the resources. So our technology and platform try to empower this company. And last year alone, they saved $1.5 billion fuel because of the thing. So I think using the technology in innovative ways and all other things, big companies, it's difficult for big companies to keep the innovation keep on. The innovation is always outside your company. So for us, when we see companies like that, we're excited. We put the money inside. We're using technology, and we also promote them on our platform if they're environment friendly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Aisha, what have been the biggest challenge for you in terms of scaling up? You've got a technology. You feel confident that it can work. She's won, by the way, a lot of prizes and gotten a lot of attention. So this is not.
亲爱的观众朋友，很高兴您能看到这个视频。我是互联网创业的先行者天狼教练。如今互联网已经是趋势了，您在玩手机的同时，是否想过在家就可以创业呢？我已经帮助过很多的学生和普通的网民。第1个月就月收入过万了，做1年月收入6位数以上，实现有车有房，兼职全职都可以，甚至包括90后和50多岁的网盲阿姨。如果你有梦想，不安于现状，渴望成功，那么请第一时间加上我的联系方式。我的 QQ 157-914-9889，我的微信 HOU157-914-9889。了解不会损失什么，但是拒绝了解，你有可能会错失良机。我们1分钟以后再见。
Like one of those infomercials where, you know, you order it and you can't make the thing work. It's but what have been the biggest challenges, and how could both the public sector and the private sector be more helpful in terms of encouraging young entrepreneurs like you?
Well, based on our experience, I guess what we need here is like a support system, because we have the passion. So if you don't mind me telling you the backstory of how we started, the main inspiration of coming up with the application, a lighting application, was when I did a personal immersion up in the mountains of Kalinga. So there I learned of a story that because of scarcity of public transportation, people had to travel down the mountain and walk 6 hours just to get kerosene for their lamps. And they do that every other day. So we have the passion. So what we need is like a support system, both from the private sector and the government, to like mentor us, guide us how we can scale up the product or the project. And yes, we also need a lot of support in terms of funding. So that's where that's our main challenge right now. We're on a critical phase. We're trying to mass produce the lamp. So we're just looking for someone to fund us to get the project moving.
I'm just saying serving him as a matchmaker here a little bit. But a couple of things, and I know we're running out of time, but I just want to comment on. First of all, I do think that there's a role to play for government in providing tax incentives for the production of clean energy. What's been interesting, if you look at solar, for example, heavy subsidies on the front end, but because of the trend lines in reducing the costs per BTU coming out over the last several years, it's exceeded many of our expectations, and increasingly the subsidies become less and less necessary. So early phase, you may need some support. Over time, less support. A second area, Jack, where I do think that the government has an important role to play, and I think you wouldn't disagree with this, is on basic research and development. Most of your businesses, the people in this audience, you have an R&D budget, but oftentimes it's commercializing a technology that's relatively proven, tweaking it, where governments can do what it's hard for companies to do, is to that front-end basic research that doesn't have necessarily an immediate payoff, but will then serve as the laboratories for young people like Aisha to discover, based on that basic research, I've got a new idea and I can do something else. And that's, in fact, how the internet came about, in part, was a combination of incredible innovation, but also some basic government funding that had come in on the front end. But the thing that I maybe want to ask you, Jack, sort of in closing, is whether you think that other businesses that you're interacting with and dealing with, particularly in the APAC countries, feel this same urgency that you do, or do you think that you're still an early evangelist for this and you have to persuade others a little bit more? And the reason I say that is because I think China's an interesting example. Like the earlier patterns of England or the United States, when a country is growing rapidly, it doesn't pay a lot of attention to the environment. As it enters into sort of middle income status, suddenly people start looking at cancer rates, they start looking